Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel, or welcome if you're new around here. You find us in Castleton in the Peak District today, and it is very cold. We've come out for a walk, but we've left the dogs in the motorhome with the heater on because it's about probably -4 at the moment and just a little bit too cold for them.
But first, let's rewind 24 hours as we make our way up a very busy M1. The journey took quite a lot longer than we had anticipated, so once we'd checked into the campsite, we didn't have much time before dark, so we decided just to head into town to the nearest coffee shop and get ourselves a drink. It was starting to get really quite cold by the time we headed back towards the campsite to settle in for the night. The next morning was absolutely gorgeous, but also bitterly cold, so after giving the dogs a quick leg stretch round campus, we headed as a human-only party into town.
Most things in Castleton are shut at the moment because it's reasonably early on Saturday morning, so we thought we'd just take a walk through the cave dale, admittedly to try to get a view of Peveril Castle, which is way up that hill there, before dropping back to town and grabbing a coffee when all the place is open. But yeah, freezing but amazing so far. Nice scenery. And yeah, nice place, nicely decorated for Christmas, which is one of the reasons for coming here, which I will show you in a little bit.
The walk up was quite steep, essentially up a riverbed, some of which was frozen, and other bits where the water was still trickling. These were the easiest bits to negotiate. The views from up here were simply breathtaking, and it was definitely worth heading up as far as we did. However, I would be lying if I told you that I wasn't worried about getting back down, given that it was quite icy on the way up and I'm not the most sure-footed at the best of times. We hoped that we would find a different way down.
So we have actually made it up higher up than Peveril Castle, although I'm not entirely sure how to get back down, seasoned walkers that we are, but this does look like a path that we're on, and it looks like a fairly gentle gradient back down to the road, so there's some people further along, so we're going to trust that they know what they're doing and head that way. And this is a lot easier than the frozen, at the moment, the frozen river gorge that we walked up. This feels better.
Indeed, it was a path, and it wasn't long before we found ourselves back in town. We took a quick stroll through the pretty streets of the village before heading back towards the Castleton Coffee Company. This was to become our favourite haunt during the weekend. We really loved it. It's a very small place, but there's a whole range of coffees, teas, hot drinks, and plenty of other drinks as well on offer. And the coffee was absolutely delicious, as was every bit of food that we tasted. While Kerry headed back to the motorhome to keep the dogs company, I headed back towards town for the thing that had brought us here.
So, one of the main reasons that we came to Castleton in December is because of the Christmas Tree Festival, which takes place in St Edmund's Church, which is just behind me here. And we thought it would be a nice festive thing to do at the start of December, to bring the motorhome here. I mean, this harsh frost is just making it really festive and magical. And we do have a forecast of snow this afternoon, so fingers crossed, maybe this evening we can walk back into Castleton, which is maybe a 10-minute walk or so from the campsite, with the snow falling and all the pretty Christmas lights on. But enough standing out in the cold. Let's get in there and show you what I hope are some gorgeous Christmas trees.
Back outside, I had another quick walk around the village. It really is worth coming here anyway, just to look at the village, because it is really pretty with the various cottages and houses. As well as the village itself and Peveril Castle, there's a number of other attractions in the local area. One thing that I would like to come back for is the caves. There's quite a lot in the area. A lot of those are open to the public. But it just didn't feel right to be heading there with the dogs. It'd be a bit too cold for them, although they are allowed in most of them.
I really hope it snows. Massive fingers crossed. I love the snow and I love all things like Christmas. Not as keen on Christmas Day, but the build up, absolutely love it. Love Christmas trees, Christmas lights, Christmas decorations, the whole lot, and this place is full of them. A lot of the fairy lights are on at the moment, but obviously in the daylight you don't get the full magic of it. But I can't wait to come back sort of twilight or even when it's dark later on. And if there's snow, I mean, that would just be the icing on the cake. It is magical. It is bitterly cold. It's a shame the dogs can't join us out and about, but apart from that, it's absolutely spot on. Loving it. Really Christmassy. If you want to get in the Christmas spirit, this is the place to come.
It's definitely worth taking a trip into the visitor centre. It's a really nice modern building which has got a range of information about the local area, some interactive displays, information about the history, local finds from the area, and also a cafe which we haven't tried out but looked really nice, and a lovely well-stocked shop. There are also some good clean public toilets next to the visitor centre, and actually at the other end of town near the coffee shop there's also a set of good public toilets. On my way back to the motorhome, I called in at the fish and chip shop to get us some chips to go along with our sandwiches, and headed back to the motorhome, which we'd got our Christmas trees up in. Then we all settled down for a nice relaxed afternoon. We really like staying at campsites at this time of year because people really get into the seasonal spirit, like this caravan here. And then to complete the festive theme, the snow arrived! Not sure Kerry's that excited about it. Archie was a bit more enthusiastic and was happy to come out for a little walk round campus before Kerry and I headed into Castleton in the snow.
Christmas lights are all around. I can see them now. It's like they spell your name. It's insane.
How cosy does that look?
Once again, holidays and cheer. But now I got my eye set on you. I'm not gonna play it safe. It's going down on Christmas Day. 'Cause I've been trying to tell you in every way. Yeah, I've been trying to show you.
Then it was time to hunker down for the night and see what the next day would bring. It snowed even more overnight, so we woke up to an absolutely magical winter wonderland. Once again, Archie was more than happy to partake in the snow. There was no persuasion needed at all for his pre-breakfast leg stretch, although Sandy took a bit more convincing. How gorgeous does the campsite look with all the pretty lights and the snow to show them off to their best effect. There's even a tiny icicle.
Well, as you can see, we got really lucky with the snow. It came down during the night and we woke up to this winter wonderland, which is absolutely magical. Perhaps not so much when we try to drive home, although the main road does look like it's probably okay. So just taking a little walk around with Archie, who is loving the snow and jumping around in it. Sandy was offered the opportunity but decided she was going to stay tucked up in bed. I don't think she really likes the cold winter weather. But yeah, we'll see if we can entice her out a bit later. He's loose. He's loose. Another loose hound. Come here. Give him a
Got when you're probably going to do one like that.
What are you doing, buddy? For what reason? You're nuts. You're absolutely nuts, aren't you? You're a crazy little thing, aren't you?
We did manage to persuade Sandy to come out, and once she got her head round it, she really enjoyed the snow. Then while the dogs dried off and warmed up, we headed back into the village for one last time, and you can probably guess our destination. snow and probably the fact it was a Sunday morning had brought a load of people out, so we thought our coffee was going to be a takeaway one. However, while we were waiting to order, we saw some hot sandwiches come out and we decided we would order a sausage sandwich each, a meat one for Kerry and a plant-based one for me. And happily, by the time those were made, a table became free. Not just any table, the table in the window, so the best one in our opinion. So we settled down there to enjoy our coffee and a delicious sausage sandwich. We would thoroughly recommend this place if you do come to Castleton. Then it was time to walk back to the campsite, where some of our fellow guests had got busy and made themselves a snowman. Then it was time to hit the road and enjoy the snowy and slightly foggy scenes as we made our way through the Peak District back to the M1. As always, thanks for watching, and if you've enjoyed this video, please do give it a like, consider subscribing, consider sharing, and we'll see you in the next one.